without telling you exactly what's been on my mind. Okay, anyways, y'all, that song is stuck in my head. But if you come across this live a little later in life, we're about to go over this testimony where my ex-fiance, I believe, was unalived through witchcraft. I am sleepy. I have a cold. So sorry we had to meet on these terms. My nose is greasy. My mouth is greasy. Because, yeah, I have a cold. And so, everybody that do tune into the live today, though, I just pray that y'all get something from it. If y'all have any questions, feel free to ask while we're on live. Feel free to ask when the live ends. Feel free. I'm gonna try to remember this season of my life the best that I can. I pray that I don't leave anything out. This story is going to take me a while, so make sure you either got your charger or that your phone is previously charged, because it's literally about to take me a while to tell this circumstance that I went through. Hey Rev, how are you? I'm good. Are you good? How are y'all? Are y'all here for the testimony? Who came back in for the testimony? I told y'all I was gonna do it, so I'm gonna do it. He said, what up, Queen? How are you? I'm good, Chico. I'm good. I'm here to give the testimony that I was telling y'all about earlier today with my ex who was unalived, I believe, through witchcraft. I'm gonna tell y'all the story and how everything went, and then I'm gonna let y'all be the judges of this. I'm gonna wait for some more people to get in here. If y'all are in here, put like thumbs up or fire emojis in the chat, just so that it can at least, get reached out to other people. And that this long story do not go to waste, y'all, because I'm about to try to go into details. I'm trying to go into details. Thank you, Rev. Thank you, Chico. I'm gonna try to go into detail, and prayerfully I don't miss anything. This testimony is actually covering like a year's span. You get what I'm saying? So this is actually like a year's worth of timing, to where a lot of things were still being revealed even after him passing away. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. He said, am I turning up this weekend? No, I have a cold. I am not turning up this weekend. I went out last weekend, just a friendly date. But I had a cold then, so I'm definitely sitting down this weekend. So y'all put fire emojis, thumbs up in the chat. I'm going to get to this testimony as soon as it's enough people in here. Thank you, Chico. Yes, me too. I pray I feel better soon. I'll probably be better by next weekend, though. Are y'all ready? Do y'all want to start now? Thumbs up, fire emojis. And then I'm going to get started on this testimony on how my ex was unalived, I believe, quote unquote, through witchcraft. Thank you, Chico. Thank you, Rev. Same from India. Thank you, Terrence. Thank you, Rev. All right. I guess I'm gonna get started. I ain't gonna be able to look at the chat for a good little minute. Let me think back. Okay, so I believe that everything started once I told him that I wanted to separate, right? So I told him that I wanted to go on a break for 30 days, and I did not. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. I can't pronounce the name, but I told him I wanted to go on a break for 30 days. On this 30 days, I was fasting. I said I didn't want to talk to anybody except my sister, right? And that was the truth. I wasn't going to talk to anybody except my sister. On this fast, I had a lot of dreams. And yes, I had a lot of dreams. One of the dreams that I had, I remember I was in the car with him, and then I got out of the car and I was in the car with another man, which turned out to be my daughter's dad. But I didn't have a daughter at this time. When I went on the 30-day fast, I didn't have a daughter. So I get out the car with him, I get in the car with my daughter's dad, and then I get out the car with my daughter's dad, and I get back in the car with him, right? This is a dream that I had during the 30-day fast. Then another dream that I had was, another dream that I had was, it was a lot of men that were chasing after me, but they were all like basically demon possessed. And in the leader of all the men, it was my grandmother, but my grandmother really did do witchcraft back in the day. And I believe that's why God put her as the leader of all those men, because he was basically exposing to me what was happening. You know what I'm saying? Like what was going on. And so at the time of this dream though, is during the 30-day fast, my grandmother has passed away. So she isn't like still doing it or anything like that. But in the dream, my grandmother was leading like a group of men, and they were all supposedly demon possessed and in love with me. And I end up reaching inside of this closet, and it was a gun inside the closet. And when I grabbed the gun, I put it to my grandmother's head in the dream. And, you know, I did that in the middle of her eyebrows. And when she dropped, all the men behind her dropped too. And so then I woke up from that dream. But before I woke up from the dream, I heard a voice say, I know it always was the ones. I know they say that it's the ones closest to you, but I never thought it would be the ones I love the most. And so after I heard that in the dream, I woke up. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. My bad. Now, like I said, I ain't wasting this, okay? I'm not wasting this. This story is too long to be being interrupted the whole time. I'm sorry. And so, anywho, though, my grandmother was leading a pack of men. I hit her in the middle of her eyebrows. She dropped. All the other men dropped. And then I heard a voice say, they always say it was the ones closest to you, but I never thought it'd be the ones I love the most. And then I woke up from that dream. This is all during the 30-day fast, right? Then I had another dream during the 30-day fast. And it was my ex, the one that ended up passing away. He was inside this house, but the house was like bright white. And I remember he was walking past me like he couldn't see me. So I'm like trying to get his attention in a dream, like, it's me. Like, why aren't you saying nothing to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why aren't you responding? Right? And so in the midst of that, he walks out the side door of this house and he cuts across the line to the sidewalk. I follow him out the house, but I notice his car is sitting in the driveway. So when I look inside his car, it was running, like shaking. So I knew it was running. But the floor of his car was gone. Like I could see the cement. I could see the driveway in the bottom of his car. You know what I'm saying? Through the bottom of his car. And so that grabbed my attention. And then I walked over there with him and I'm walking alongside him. Because remember, he cut across the yard and he on the sidewalk. So I walk over to him after looking in his car. And I walk alongside him. And it was this lady that came out of nowhere. She had a suit on and she had a suitcase in her hand. And you say you're definitely blessed. Thank you, Chico. But yeah, she had a suitcase in her hand. And I don't know where she came from, but I turned to her and she looked at me. And she was like, I would love to have put this union together. And then she walked off into the street and disappeared. And he kept going forward. And then the dream kind of switched. And I saw him sitting in the middle of a church. And he was looking at a wedding playing in front of him. And he was, I believe he was in the wedding, I don't know, but it was a wedding playing in front of him. And, yeah. And I remember he's sitting in the middle of the floor, and then I came and tried to sit next to him. But when I tried to sit next to him, I could tell that he was like empty. You know what I'm saying? So because I felt that feeling from him, I ended up like scooting my chair back over, like, oh, okay then, well, you know, like that. And after I did that, I woke up. Yes, y'all, please. Where'd you go? Okay, and so, thank you, Rev. My bad. You too. I'm gonna put you on there too. But yeah, and so where was I at? Yeah, so I scooted over or whatever because I could feel that his presence was just not there. You know what I'm saying? And then I ended up waking up. So then I have another dream. I have 2 more dreams, y'all, that I'm probably gonna share. 2 more. And so now these ones are with my daughter's dad. And so I have another dream where her dad comes upstairs into my apartment at that time. He comes into my apartment and he looks at me and he's just standing in the middle of my floor. And he was like, aren't you supposed to be coming with me? Like that. So then I wake up from that dream and I'm just like, God, am I supposed to be going with him? Like, what do you mean? You get what I'm saying? And so I didn't know what to think. But with that dream, I'm just like, that seemed black and white to me. You get what I'm saying? And so then the other dream that I had was me being in the relationship with my ex. And then the dream switched and I was in a dream with my daughter's dad. So in the first portion of the dream, while I'm with my ex, the dream was very like chaotic and just nothing was really good. You know what I'm saying? Then the dream flipped and I'm with my daughter's dad and it was like everything was peaceful. And inside of this dream, even when I thought that it was about to get chaotic, it still went, it was like it would dwell back down and be peaceful. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm having, I had that dream, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm waking up out of these dreams, I'm just like, so God, like, do you want me to go with this person? Like, is this, like, are you telling me to do this? And y'all, it's really weird because, disclaimer, but it's really weird because God had gave me a dream when I was about 18 or 19 years old of my daughter's dad because I dated him way back then. You know what I'm saying? So this is like a second season of my life where he didn't kind of came back around. But back when I was like 18, 19, I had a dream where it was me and my daughter's dad and we was inside of this really big house and the house had church windows on it. And at that time, I was still a virgin and everything. So I didn't know what it felt like to be pregnant. But now that I do, what I felt in that dream was pregnancy, which was what I thought it was even back then. So when I was like 18, 19 years old, I'm walking through this house in my dream and I feel like these flutters in my stomach and I feel stuff like moving around. And I was walking around the house cleaning up baby toys, right? And so after I get done cleaning up the baby toys, I was looking at this little girl. Like I was holding her and she was looking up at me. And she was so beautiful in the dream, but she was like chocolate. My daughter ain't that chocolate. She was chocolater when she was born though. But either way it goes, So I had that dream back when I was like 18, 19 years old. So now we fast forwarding back to this 30-day fast and back to when God is telling me like to go over here with this person and this, that, and the third. And it was just crazy. So I ended up going, right? And hence why we have a daughter now. Like, I don't know why I was shocked about us having a girl. God been told me that we was gonna have a girl. So that's the girl God was telling me about when I was 18, 19 years old. But I didn't end up having her till I was 26. And I'm thinking that season is gone, it's over. I've been engaged for 5 years. I'm not thinking that this little girl is coming to pass. You know what I'm saying? But she still ended up happening. So that's when I learned, though, from going over there. That was how I learned that God can prophesy 1,000 years before it's time. Like, it's crazy, but either way it goes. So now, back to the story, y'all. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go over here with this person, right? So now I'm, dating her dad for a little while. But I found out that it wasn't a good idea because I'm back in sin. And I literally just left my ex because we were in sin. So why would I come over here with you and be back in sin? It don't make sense. I know that it does not feel good. I know that I will end up unhappy. I know that there's no peace going against the Lord. So that was why I ended up walking away from that situation, even though God had given me all these dreams to where I should go over there and be with him, right? But I ended up walking away anyways, because I'm like, I gotta do right by God. So I ended up walking away, right? Y'all, I am like telling God, like literally when I walked away, I went straight in prayer. I went home. I told God, I'm good. Whatever it is you got for me, that's what I want. I'm done with my ex. I'm done with the guy that I ended up having my daughter with. Now, God, it's just me and you. So I thought it was just me and him, but it was me, him, and her. You get what I'm saying? But I thought it was just me and God. I'm thinking I done dodged the little sin I fell in. I was in sin for 5 years straight with my ex. No baby. I fall into sin with my daughter's dad for, you can say, 2 weeks. And this is a baby, like, you get what I'm saying? It was crazy, y'all. But either way it goes, I'm praying to God, right? Because I done left that. So I'm praying to God and I'm telling him, like, I'm cool. Whatever you got for me, that's what I want. And then next thing you know, a month rolls by. I wake up one morning and my phone was like, it's time to take a pregnancy test. And it popped up on my phone. And I was like, what are y'all talking about? It's something. I was confused in the mug, y'all, because my phone had never said that before. Like, my phone had never said that before. So I really didn't understand. And I just brushed it off because I didn't even know why it was saying that, because hence, it's a month since I've really talked to this person. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm active anymore. You get what I'm saying? That's done. You get what I'm saying? Like, I went right back to walking with God. So it just threw me for a loop. But when the second day came around, I literally heard the Holy Spirit whisper, like, go get a test. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna waste my money on this test. That was the first thought I had. Like, I'm gonna waste my money, but let me go get this test. So I literally just went and got the test. I just knew it was gonna be negative. I knew it was gonna be negative, child. All jokes aside, I really did. So I go to my sister's house the same day that I bought the test, because I'm just lollygagging and chilling. I wasn't finna rush and take this test. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at my sister's house and I'm chilling. I'm eating. I'm doing what I always do. Go to her house, talk to her, and then I go home. This is my sister. Same mama and dad. You know what I'm saying? So I literally get an email from her dad, right? My daughter's dad. I get an email from him. And when he emailed me, I'm literally just playing around and I'm telling him, like, yeah, I'm about to come see you, just playing. I was lying. I was not finna come and see him. I was literally about to stand him up. That's the right hand to God truth. I was messing with him because why are you talking to me? We don't talk no more. I'm done with that. Not to be rude, but that's just what it was. And I don't mind letting somebody down when I don't plan on ever crossing paths with them again in a way. And so I'm literally telling myself like, okay, let me go take this test right quick so I can go home. That's literally what I told myself. But at the same time, I'm jokingly emailing him back and forth, just playing around. I ended up taking this test, and y'all already know it was positive. And so now I done already jokingly told him that I was on my way, and now I'm for real on my way. Now I'm for real on my way. I was playing. I was literally playing. So now, anyways, we gonna get to it though, y'all. I know, but I gotta tell the backstory of this. So I am joking, and now I'm really on my way to his house. So I end up driving over there or whatever, and that was like a short season. I'm sorry, y'all, but that was like another little short season where I'm kind of like dating him again. And it was okay, I guess you could say. But as I'm at his house though, let me tell y'all, because this is crazy. I'm telling y'all, prophecy is crazy. I learned to trust my dreams in this season. Because, mind you, okay, I done got pregnant. I'm back over here. We done talked, they had whatever conversation we had. We dated for, I don't even know, a little minute. And Lord and behold, maybe a couple months or something, I don't know. But Lord behold, I wake up one morning. I'm at his house, right? And I feel this knowing come over me. Hey, Williams. I feel this knowing come over me that says, this is that season. That's all I heard. But I saw the dream that I told y'all about. When I got in the car with my ex, and then I got in the car with my daughter's dad, and then I got back out the car to get in the car with my ex again. Yeah, that was the dream God showed me when he said, this is that season. And I knew what he was talking about. I kid you not, I knew what he was talking about because I was like, oh. Like once God flashed that dream in front of my eyes when I woke up that morning and he said, this is that, I knew like, oh, me and my daughter's dad, we not about to work out. Like this is momentary. This is momentary. Because God just showed me what was about to happen. And let me tell y'all, I got up that day and things were just different. Things were different. I felt the difference. And it was just different. And I remember his daughter, he got another daughter. His daughter came over and I was walking out the house to go somewhere. I can't even remember. But regardless, I just remember I had an attitude with him, my daughter's dad. And as I'm walking out the house, he was like, she'll be right back. But I never came back. Like after that day, I never came back. And as I'm driving home, y'all, and this is how my dating life has always been, and I do not know why it goes like this, but that's a whole nother story. But I'm driving home, and guess who called my phone? I have not talked to my ex in months. Mind you, I'm probably a few months pregnant at this time, like barely showing, you know, but I haven't talked to him in months because, mind you, I didn't went a whole month not talking to neither one of them. Then I find out I'm pregnant. Then I go a couple more months dating my daughter's dad. And then out of nowhere, I leave my daughter's dad's house, plan to never come back to this house, and never came back to that house. But then my ex called me, literally as I'm driving on the freeway home. Literally. And I have not talked to this man in months, y'all. It was ridiculous. And I know we ain't got to the nitty and the gritty yet. We're getting there. This man called me. This the same morning that God tell me this is that season. Y'all, am I lying? That's why I'm telling y'all, my dreams, My dreams are real. Like, no, I don't care what nobody tell me. I don't care what I think I've seen with my own eyes. I do not care. When God showed me something in a dream about a person, don't think I don't know, because I know. Period. It's nothing nobody can tell me. Like, my dreams come true way too much. And so, either way it goes, as I'm driving home, he ends up calling my phone, and he was like basically trying to get us to work back out, a little bit, this, that, and the third. But it's already a lot going on in my life at this point. It's a lot going on. I'm falling asleep in class, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know why. So it's just a lot going on. But he's trying to make it work, right? And I'm just like, okay, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're the only other man that I would possibly allow around my daughter, so I'll give you a shot. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a second chance, basically, is what I was thinking, right? And so, if I can roll my eyes harder than this, I would. Did I roll them good? I hope I did. Either way it goes, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna give you a chance if I was to give anybody a chance, right? And so, let me think, what happened after this? I remember we went on a picnic date or something like that. And when we went on the picnic date, that was when I kind of let him know that I was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Because mind you, this man, he knows me as the woman that I lost my virginity to him. I lost my virginity at 23 years old at that. So I never had any children, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So for him, it's like, what's going on? And for me too, it was the same way with me too. But either way it goes, I had to break the news to him. So I remember we go on the picnic day, and so yeah, we just dated. So now that me and him is dating, you lost yours at 13. Oh, my birthday is today. Okay, and so we're dating. I have another dream, right? Y'all, craziness, because me and him started dating. I have a dream that I'm inside this house, and it was a big black shadow, like figure, but I knew that whatever it was demonic. That's what I did know, because that presence that you get, that feeling that you get when it's something demonic in your dream and you feel it. I can't explain it, but it was a big black figure. And I was standing in the living room of this house, right? And it's walking across my front porch, so I could see it through the curtains. It's outside of my house though. And when it gets to my door, okay, I see the doorknob, shake a little bit, but then he cracked my door open. Like, he opens my door. And as soon as he opened my door, I wake up. Let me tell y'all, child, why did I go to my sister and I told her my dream, right? And I go and tell her my dream because first I prayed. So as soon as I woke up, I prayed because I felt the spirit, like I felt that dark presence. So I get on my knees, I start praying, and all I could hear God saying in my spirit was, open door, open door, open door. And I kept hearing him say my ex's name. So it was like, open door, then my ex name, open door, my ex name, open door. And I'm just like, that's not making sense. And literally, I was like, God, that's not true. That was a dream from the devil. The devil is trying to get me to think that my ex is like demonic or something. And I'm not going for that because I already kicked him to the curb the first time and all this other stuff. And I just didn't want to, I don't know. I just didn't want to, I didn't want to label him as something and it wasn't true. Like, I wasn't mature in the spirit at this time. You get what I'm saying? So God could paint the picture for me and I'd be like, well, I was stupid. And so anyway, because I kept hearing that when I was praying, I went and asked my sister, and I told her the dream because we both believers in Christ, right? So I go and I tell her, and why do this girl? I didn't tell her that I was hearing my ex's name. I just told her that I kept hearing open door. Why, when I go to my sister, she say, why do I feel like the open door is such and such and such and such? I was literally staring at her like, she did not just say that. Like, where did you get that from? And why did you say that? That's literally what I was thinking. But I'm not gonna lie, I still brushed it to the side because I'm just like, I don't want to label him as something mean. Like, okay, so maybe the enemy talking to you. You get what I'm saying? Like, maybe the enemy talking to you too. I don't know. That's how I kind of played it, and I kept dating my ex. And so, let me think. What was the next turning point? Okay, so I had that dream about him. And then, how in the world did, okay, so I might have skipped something because, it was a time period before I found out that I was pregnant. Before I even found out I was pregnant, I had went to my daughter's dad's house, and one of his exes had followed me, and I thought that it was just like some traffic beef or something like that. I thought I had cut somebody off or something, and I just didn't realize that I had cut them off. But turns out it was one of my daughter's ex-girlfriends. And so she ends up following behind my car. And so when she pulls up on the side of my car, I'm not even gonna get all into the nitty and the gritty of that story, but let's just say you can show a person grace because they scared and they don't take the grace. That's really what that was. She was scared in the mud and did not accept the grace I showed her. Like, now she was following me because, she was following me because she was doing tarot card readings about me. And so when she pulled up on the side of my car, she asked me if the baby that I had was my daughter's dad's baby. But at that time, I didn't even know I was pregnant. So how does she know that I'm pregnant? And I don't even know you at all. Like, have never saw you. My daughter's dad don't even know that I'm pregnant because I don't even know that I'm pregnant. So how did she know I was pregnant? Get what I'm saying? So she was doing tarot card readings on me and all this other weird stuff that I ain't know nothing about until God revealed it to me. That's what I'm telling y'all now. That's what I'm telling y'all now. But yeah, so she had put up on the side of my car, but I'm thinking that we finna get into it. Like, I'm thinking, like, oh, okay, I must have cut you off, but you don't know how to calm down. So now we about to have to take it all the way there. But when I get out of the car, when I pull my car over and I roll my window down and I ask her, is she ready to get active? She didn't want to get active. She wanted to talk, but she could barely talk because she was stuttering and jittering and she couldn't get her words out because she was scared. So then I let her go on because it was too evident that she was scared. I let her go about her way, but she didn't accept the grace. So it got worse. And so either way it goes, yeah, I ended up pulling off after that because she asked me about a baby, but I didn't know what she was talking about. I'm like, what baby is she talking about? Like, I don't have no baby. I literally looked in my back seat, y'all, like, what baby is she talking about? What is she talking about? I was confused. But either way it goes, I ended up going home after that, and then, let me think. Where did I leave off at, y'all? This is all off the top of my head now. Y'all might have to help me out. So what was it? I had the dream about him, and then the open door, and then I jumped back to her and talking about the baby, and then, but that was before I was even pregnant. So how did I even, hold on y'all, because I done lost track. Oh, you know what? Yeah, so we probably can just jump straight into the nitty and the gritty now, because now that I'm back dating Ada, now that I'm back dating my ex, and I'm pregnant, and it's this open door situation that's going on with him. We kicking it. I remember like we dating and we being like serious about it, and I remember I told God, I said, yeah, you know, I tried not to. Hopefully didn't nobody catch that. But if you caught it, other people probably caught it. Dang. But yeah, so we kicked it, we dating, and we trying to take it like serious or whatever. And he was like trying to be very, you know, understanding about it, which I understand him being understanding. Because why would you not, when the relationship ended because of you anyways? It's like, if you're gonna be understanding, then be understanding, you know. But at the same time, I'm being understanding for it being a lot on him too at the same time. So I wasn't just like cold about it. But yeah, so I end up telling God, like, he's staying. Like, regardless of anything. This is what I'm telling God one day. I was standing in my room and I said, he's staying regardless of the baby and everything. So, if you want me to leave, you're going to have to make me do it. That's literally what I told him. And Lord, behold, he made me. Because one day, me and I'm trying to think if it's another dream that I'm missing out on. Okay, I'm gonna just tell y'all this dream just because it came to my spirit. So as me and him is dating and I'm pregnant, right? I end up having this dream where I was in the car with my ex, right? The one that passed away or ends up passing away in this story. I'm with him in my car though. And he's driving and he's smoking. Mind you, he don't even smoke. So I don't know why, but in this dream, he's smoking, he, you know, driving real fast, and it's raining, like pouring down in the dream. It's gloomy outside. You get what I'm saying? And I remember being in the car, it was somebody in my back seat. I don't even know who this person is, but it was somebody in my back seat. And I look at them, and then I look back to my ex, and my ex was just kind of laughing and was just like, ha, 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 like not trying to hear nothing I'm saying to him. Like, slow the car down, put the weed out. Like, y'all smoking, like, what is y'all doing, you know? And mind you, when I have this dream, I'm sitting up on his bed. In real life, I'm sitting up on the side of his bed. I drop into this dream because he's walking to the refrigerator. In real life, my ex is walking to the refrigerator and I'm sitting on the side of his bed. And when he walked out to the refrigerator, I dropped into a dream. The dream I'm telling y'all now, where he's in the car smoking, drinking, and it's raining outside, and I'm telling him to slow down. And next thing you know, he flies us over a cliff into the freeway. And as I'm looking at the ground, I was like, oh my God, I died in my sins. And boom, I wake up. And when I wake up like I couldn't even believe I was actually alive, because the dream felt so real. I thought I was gone for real, for real. And let me tell y'all why. As soon as I wake up out this dream, and I'm just like, he was walking back into the room from the refrigerator. That's how quick I had that dream, y'all. That's how quick it was, but how real it was. And he was going to the refrigerator to get me a bag of lemons because I was pregnant, and I used to eat them lemons like grapes. I'm talking about a whole bag of frozen lemons. I would peel them, and they were so good, y'all. But either way it goes. So when I had that dream, though, it woke me up, and it just kept making me feel like this is the wrong direction. Like, being with this person is the wrong direction. But anyways, we're dating. That was just another dream that I had as me and him is dating. Now, let me tell y'all, when everything really changed. Oh, Sorry, one more dream, and then I'm gonna get into everything. Ooh, I got. Okay, one more dream before everything changes. So, the last dream that I had was my ex and my daughter that's here right now. This dream that I'm about to tell y'all about actually happened on the 30-day fast. So, I have a dream where my ex is walking out of his house, but it's a little girl coming behind him. And they got on the same clothes. And they get inside of a white truck. He gets in the driver's seat and she got in the back seat. And then they pulled off. And I woke up and I prayed to God and I said, why did they have on matching clothes? And who was that little girl? Because mind you, this is during the 30-day fast. I'm not even pregnant yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with my daughter's dad yet. None of that. So I pray and I asked God, and God said, that's your daughter. And I was like, oh, okay, so maybe me and my ex gonna have a daughter? Like, I was so confused, y'all. I really was. But this is why you really have to just listen to God. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta listen to God even when you don't understand. Because I didn't know what he was talking about. Like, why does my ex have my daughter with him? And why do they got on matching clothes? You know what I'm saying? But I found out later. So anyway, let's fast forward back to where we're at. Now, one day, as me and him is dating, we go out on a date. I'm pregnant. This is after the dream where I fell asleep on the bed, woke back up. He brought the bag of lemons in and all that. This is after all that. But as me and him is dating, I'm getting further along in my pregnancy. So around this time, I'm about 7 months pregnant. Me and him, we go to see a movie. Now, we did this like the air we breathe. We will go to the movie theaters on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, it don't matter. We was just gonna go to the movies to get out the house, just to get out the house. So one day, we go to the movies, we go to the drive-in. Y'all, it gets scary. I'm not joking, it gets scary, okay? We go to the drive-in, I'm 7 months pregnant. We go to see that one movie. I think it was called The Call. Let me look it up. I want y'all to know what movie I'm talking about. Hold on. Because it was a demonic movie. But I always watch scary movies because I like to dissect them. Like when I watch The Conjuring, I can break down The Conjuring down to biblical, like it make it all make sense. And so that's why I like to watch scary movies. But hold on, let me pull this movie up for y'all right quick. I think it was called The Call. Why is my phone moving slow? What happened to my dream? What dream? Ask me now before I get back into the story. Hold on, because I'm about to find this movie. I don't care what nobody's talking about. Speak. Yeah, I think it was released it was actually released in 2023 because my baby was born in 2024. So the movie had to come out in 2023. I think it was called Talk to Me. But let me see. Y'all, the craziest thing of my life. When I tell you when we went to go see this movie, I'm about to tell y'all in a second. Craziest feeling I've ever had in my life. I was like, this can't be real. Like, I think it was this movie. I'm about to show y'all. Because I remember this girl being in the movie. So it had to be this movie. This one. You said it's a radio station movie? They don't make them like they used to though. Make what like they used to? Okay, so we went to go see this movie, right? And me and him, we're in the car, right? And it keep trying to show this one. I don't want to show that one. That one is too, that's just a demonic, super demonic picture. But this movie, right? Where they play the game and it's like something, you know, but it's really like you talking to dead people or something like that. And so we're at the movie theaters. We end up falling asleep, right? But we wake up at the same time. Now, mind you, we at the drive-in. It's dark outside. It's cool. I don't care. I'm not scared of horror movies. They don't move me. They don't shake me. Nothing. Like, I do this. Like The Conjuring, eyes open. I don't close my eyes. I don't cover my ears. I don't blink. I need to see what's going on so I can tell y'all what's really going on and where they got certain things from. So we watching this movie. We both fall asleep. But then, literally, we both wake up like this. We both immediately pull up out of our sleep like this. And when we wake up, we both looking like this at the same time. All jokes aside. And so let me just try to reenact it for y'all. I'm dead asleep like this. We both wake up like this. I hear him say, I ain't even looked at him. I'm still looking right here out the window. I'm looking out here like this. I hear him say, I don't think I want to finish this movie. And I was like, yeah, I think this is going to be my last one. And literally, we both got out the car and we went home. Why did he say, I don't think I want to finish this movie? And then I said, yeah, I think this is going to be my last one. Because I watch scary movies all the time. All the time. It was nothing to me. You get what I'm saying? But when I tell you I was looking out that window as if something was there, but I'm fresh out my sleep. You get what I'm saying? I'm literally fresh out of my sleep, but it's something so strong, and I mean stronger than I've ever felt. I'm not even joking. And I have washed up in the shower, and I have had like, a demonic spirit, literally like while I'm in the shower, like so vividly in front of me that I tried to grab it. You get what I'm saying? So whatever that was standing there, I could not see it, but I felt it so strongly. It was like, why can't I see you? I couldn't even like put my eyes around why I couldn't see you. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt it so strong, and he felt it as strongly as I felt it, because we both woke up staring at the same spot and trying to figure out, like, let's get up out of here with this movie, bro. Like, we gone. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was. Hold on, y'all. My bad. Somebody messaging me like it's a emergency or something. So I just want to see if it's an emergency. Hold on. It wasn't even an emergency, y'all, but that was funny though. My bad, that was funny. Okay, back to the story. Yeah, so we staring out the window, we trying to figure out like what's right here. We finna go home. But something that I did forget to tell y'all, we ended up going home that night. He went home, I went to my house, and I went to sleep. But before I move forward in this story, y'all, I remember he called me one day and he was like, yeah, like such and such, do you know somebody that keep calling from a blocked number? That's what he said. He said, do you know somebody that keeps calling from a blocked number? Because what I forgot to tell y'all was, remember when the girl pulled up on the side of my car and she was talking about, is that his baby? And I was trying to figure out what baby was she talking about. That same girl, she kept blowing my phone up. I'm talking about when I tell you she couldn't have had a job. I'm not playing, y'all. What you need?
Iron's on the toilet right now. She won't be on it.
Okay. Thank you. You did that?
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, so she talking about a baby. I didn't know what baby she was talking about. But this same girl calling my phone, when I tell you I'm not playing, she couldn't have had a job. Because she for real called me from sun up to sun down. I'm talking about through the middle of the night, to the morning, through the afternoon. Child, I'm at orientation like, this can't be. But let me tell you though, as she was calling my phone like that, and I'm gonna get back to the nitty and the gritty in a second, but as she was calling my phone like that, I didn't really understand how serious it was, because mind you, I done went back to my ex. We doing whatever we doing, but I end up having a dream that I was leaving from work, and I seen a car on the side of me, and I remember so a car ended up riding past me, and then it did a U-turn and it rolled back by me. And in my dream, I end up going in my glove department and I pull my weapon out and I end up, hitting the car like a few times. And so after I hit the car a few times, I knew whoever was in the car had ended up, leaving Earth. Because by the time the car got to me, it was at a real slow roll. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that was God just letting me know, like, you gonna have to do it, like, but either way it goes, yeah, so this same girl, she's still calling my phone, but not only is she calling my phone, she's calling his phone. And this was all happening before we went to the movies that night. And we end up having that encounter with that demonic spirit. And I had ended up telling him, my ex, because he called me one day like, hey, do you know somebody from a block number keep calling you? And I said, yeah, that's such and such and such and such. Don't answer the phone. But then that same person starts calling him through Instagram, not knowing I'm logged into his page. Boo, I don't got them type of relationships. I need all that. So even though she's calling him, she's really calling me. You know what I'm saying? So either way it goes, that's how I knew that she was still blowing his phone up. My ex phone up, right? The girl that stopped me about the baby and all that. Her. And so now let's fast forward back to when we at the movie theaters. He goes home after that night and I go home too. I hadn't heard from him the whole day. I don't get off work till 11 p.m. And as I'm clocking out from work, literally, as I'm clocking out from work, I'll answer y'all questions in a minute. As I'm clocking out from work, my ex family member ends up calling me. And they was like, hey, have you talked to such and such? And I was like, no, ever since the night that I came over there. Because, okay, let me backtrack a little bit again. So either way it goes though, we go to the movies. We gotta backtrack again, y'all, just for a second. Remind y'all this off the top of my head. So now we go to the movies that night, right? We have that encounter with the demonic spirit, right? He goes home and I go home, right? But the next day after we go to that movie theater, we end up getting into it because I don't even remember what happened, but I ended up going over to his house. And when I go into his house, y'all, he was acting so confused. So confused. And now this is when the story has its plot twist. Because now we done went to the movies, now it's the next day, and I'm at his house. He's acting confused. I'm literally, let me take y'all into the moment for real. So he's pacing across the floor and he's just doing like this. He doing like this, like, no. He doing like that. So I'm like, what is you doing, bro? Like, this is somebody I'd have known literally since childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like middle school, all that. So what are you doing? Like, I ain't never seen you act like this. I ain't never seen, like, you've been confused and you done did some things that made me think you were slow. But I don't understand this that I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? Like real life, I did not. And so he is like just not saying nothing. You hear what I'm saying? And I'm asking him questions. I don't even remember what I was asking him. But I remember his brother ended up walking up to him, trying to show him some outfit that he was about to get for his birthday. And then I remember my ex being like, bro, if you show her that outfit, bro, we never gonna speak again. The brother came and showed me the outfit, and I understood what he meant by that, because he like, man, you trying to flex in front of my girl type junk. You know what I'm saying? So I understood that part, but then he would go back silent and he would get confused again. Like, man, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? He was so confused, y'all, he wouldn't even utter a full sentence for real. And mind you, I was there for like 4 hours just trying to ask him like, what's wrong? And the last thing that he would actually say, I remember we ended up walking into the dining room and he was just like, I heard Nani, man. Nani is me. They call me Nani. That's my nickname. And he was just like, I heard Nani, man. I heard Nani. And he was like, no. And then I heard him say, man, I'd rather. And basically he was saying, man, he'd rather like not, be here type thing. And I was just looking at him again, because I'm lost in the sauce. So I'm looking at him like, what is he talking about? And why do he keep saying he hurt Nani? Like, we was just at the movies last night watching the show. What is you talking about, bro? You get what I'm saying? Like, so, at that moment though, I remember hearing God tell me he thinks he hurt you by hurting your daughter. That's what he's talking about. But I couldn't get that out of him. But as I'm standing in the dining room staring at him, because he's literally telling me nothing for 4 hours now, I'm exhausted. I'm just looking at him like, what are you doing? And are you gonna talk? You know what I'm saying? But he just kept saying, I hurt Nani. And no. Like, I'd rather, la. And I'm just like, he really tripping. And so I'm thinking he playing though. Because I've never seen him like this before. Like, this was too many hours of him literally saying nothing, but then murmuring like a few little bits of nothing, and then still not telling me nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's hours, and I've never seen him like this. So I'm kind of thinking he just trying to get me to leave without an answer. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. So that's what I do. But before I leave, I was just like, man, I'm tired of talking to you. I'm tired of trying to get this out of you. I'm straight. I'm done. I'm going home. And I walk out the back door, and y'all, when I tell you his face expression killed me, bro. Because I walk out the front door, mind you, not the front door. I leave out the back door. The back door is like all the way across the kitchen, through the dining room. He is still in like the living room. You know what I'm saying? So I get to the back door. I slam the back door because I was like, no, because you playing, bro, and I'm done. Slam the door. Soon as I slam the door, this door flies right back open. And he was like, Nani, no, like that, like all jokes aside. He was dead serious. He was like, he pulls the doors back open and he was like, Nani, no. And as soon as he did that, I slammed it back shut. But then I opened it right back open. Because I'm like, his face expression was just like, it was almost like he came to the realization of himself. Because mind you, of hours now, he's just been murmuring like, no. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I Like, I heard Nani, bro, like Nana, like that. So, of course, I'm ready to go now because you playing around. You know what I'm saying? And so, I end up slamming that door back shut, but then I opened it right back open. And I'm talking about in a split second, I opened it right back up, and he was back to doing no, like that. You get what I'm saying? So that's when I walked back in the house, and I told him, because I'm looking at him now. Now I'm like, this don't look normal. You know what I'm saying? And I tell him, I said, such and such, I don't know what you done, but this is bigger than me. This is a God thing. That's literally what I told him. I said, this is a God thing. Because I could just see it on him. I don't know what phone call he done answered. You get what I'm saying? At the time, I didn't know what phone call he done answered or what he done got into. But I could see it on him that this was not something that I could fix. Like, this not something Nani can help you with. Like, Nani, not trying to be funny, but Nani had always been kind of like, you know, a friend in his life. But that literally was the first time I ever looked at him and knew that God was letting me know, like, this is not a task for you. And there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. But I didn't know how deep it was. So I still went home that night. You know what I'm saying? I still got in my car and I drove home. And then I went to work. And that was when I was clocking out at 11 o'clock. And his family had reached out to me. And they had asked me if I had talked to him. And I was like, no, I ain't talked to him all day because of what happened the night before, which was everything I just told y'all. And so, but once they told me, like, yeah, you know, we checked him into the hospital, this, that, and the third, I was like, the hospital? I'm blown away, y'all. All jokes aside, the hospital? What are y'all talking about? Why is he in the hospital, bro? So I literally leave work 11 o'clock at night, 7 months pregnant, all the way down to the hospital. I walk in, and he was laying in the bed. And he was still saying the same thing. When he woke up, he asked me, he said, Nani, I didn't hurt you, did I? And I was like, no, you didn't hurt me. Like, that's all I was telling him, basically. And then he was like, oh yeah, that's right. You told me that. You already told me that. I didn't hurt you. And I was like, yeah, you did not hurt me. And then he would say a couple of little other things, but it was like 2 other things that he would say. But other than that, he wasn't really saying nothing. And then I'm trying to think. I left the hospital that night. Now, y'all is gonna get... Oh, yeah, for sure. That did. Like, it... Wait, what hurt? I don't know what you mean. But, yeah, I remember him asking me that. I remember him mentioning to me some things about his cousin. But I had already knew about those things. And, yeah, I think I ended up going home that night. And then I came back the next morning, and I had brought him some breakfast. And he was still the same way. He wasn't talking, like, at all. Like, at all. Like, he was not talking. That was the whole reason why they called me in the first place, was because they was like, no, my heart is not broken. My heart is not even close to broken, actually. But it is sad that this happened to him, but no. But I ended up bringing him breakfast the next day. He was still in the same condition, like, just was not talking. Get what I'm saying? And I swapped out with his family a couple times. I went home, Then the third day of me being there, because mind you, now he in the hospital for 3 days now. He went to the hospital one day, I left from work, came to see him, then I went home. Then the next day I came back, brought him breakfast. Then I went home. I was there with him for hours though. And then I came back the second day that he was in the hospital, and I stayed with him overnight. So now let me get into this part. Because now, you know, me and his family done swapped out a couple times during the day. But then I come back during the afternoon, right? And still it's the same thing. He not talking. He's nothing. His eyes are like dark. Like all of this is dark. And he do not have dark eyes. But all of this is literally as if like a shadow is on his face. All jokes aside, it looks crazy. And knock it off with the love. Oh, but yeah. And so his hands were like really sweaty. Really sweaty. Like you touch his hands and it'll feel like you just grabbed a wet rag. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how sweaty his hands were. And so either way it goes, he didn't talk at all. He would just be sitting up against the wall like this. Like that. And he would just breathe in and out like that for hours. I would say his name. He wouldn't say anything. Okay, so let's just get into the part where I'm spending the night this night, right? 7 months pregnant. Sitting on the side of this bed. He's laying in his hospital bed or whatever. And he hadn't said a word to me all that afternoon. Right? Ain't said a word to me. I end up falling asleep. I'm 7 months pregnant, I'm sleepy. So I fall asleep, he wakes up. It is like 1 a.m. in the morning. Mind you, this is his second day here, right? And he says to me in a normal voice, y'all, in a normal voice. He ain't talked in 2 days, but he wakes me up at 1 a.m. in the morning in a normal voice. And he says, Nani, get up. Nani, get up. I'm ready to go home. That's literally what he said to me, y'all. In 2 days, he ain't talked. But he woke me up at 1 a.m. that morning and said, Nani, get up. I'm ready to go home. Y'all, I literally picked my phone up and was like, it's 1 in the morning. I'll take you in a minute. That's literally what I said. And before I could even remember, y'all, I was asleep, knocked out, sleep. And when I woke up the next morning, I was like, so when I woke up the next morning, I was like, dang, I was like, God, why you ain't let me take him home? I would have took him home. Like, that's what I was thinking. Because I'm thinking like, man, they're going to put this stuff on his record. They're going to try to make it seem like this boy is crazy, and he is not. You know what I'm saying? So I was like thinking when I woke up that next morning, like, why didn't I take him home? You know what I'm saying? When he said he wanted to go, I could have took him then. You know what I'm saying? But God, literally, I heard God say to me, because they were going to hurt you. That's what I heard God tell me. And again, I was so confused in that hospital because I'm like, they? Who is they? Like, how were they going to hurt me? Like, what are you talking about? And as soon as he said that, it was like I saw me and him fighting, like physically in the car while I'm pregnant. And I'm 7 months pregnant. Now, me and him has never physically fought, but that's what I saw us doing on the way home at night at 1 a.m. in the morning. And it's just me and him. You know what I'm saying? So when God said that to me, though, I was still kind of confused because I'm like, who is they, right? Man, let me tell y'all. I ended up, I just accepted it, but I started looking at him more that day. Like, what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still trying to put the pieces to the puzzle because, mind you, like I said, this is somebody I've known for years. And I just didn't think that it would be the one I love the most. You remember how God told me that in that dream earlier in this testimony? I didn't think it would be the one I love the most. So I'm still doubting like what I'm actually looking at. So now we wake up. I end up not taking him home. By the time I wake up, it's like 8 a.m. in the morning.
But you only want me by the time.
It's late. I can't take you out right now. You can ride it tomorrow. Want to ride it tomorrow in the morning?
I want to ride the pasture.
Okay, you want to bring it in here and ride the bike?
Yeah.
Okay, go get it. Go get it before I change my mind. Okay, anyway.
Mommy, Daddy got me bike.
Okay, well then share it with them then.
I don't want to share them.
That's because you're stingy. So, anyways, we ended up not going home, and I was asking God, like, why didn't you let me take him home? Why didn't you wake me up and give me the strength to take him, right? And then he told me that, like, he's going to hurt you, yada, yada, yada. And then I start looking at him more, like, what's really going on? And as I'm looking at him, he's linked back up against the wall, and he's just breathing again, like that. He's not saying a word. I will literally call his name. He ain't saying a word, y'all. And it was a time I took his food. Like, this is after me waking up and all of that. They ended up bringing him his food or something like that. And that was when he said something to me. And I told him, I'm not giving you this tray until you tell me what you're hearing. That's what I told him. Because it was like he was trying to talk a little bit. Like, I can't explain it. It was like he would say one thing. And really, he wouldn't even say that, to be honest. But when I took the food tray, I noticed that he sat up and tried to get it. So that's why I used that to try to get him to talk. So I'm like, okay, so tell me what you're hearing, or I'm not giving you this food, period. And as soon as I said that to him, y'all, he did like this. He would just do that. He would literally just do that. What you laughing at? But that's literally what he would do. And it was just crazy to me because as soon as I would bring up God, when I would bring up God, he would shut back down. Like, even if he was about to be willing to talk, he would shut back down. Once I brought up God, nothing. Not talking. I'm going right back into breathing, and that's it. It was the craziest thing I've heard. But let me tell y'all, it gets deeper. It gets a lot deeper. So, anyways, so I'm sitting in this room. And he sits up on the side of the bed, mind you, again, 8 a.m., breakfast and came, so that means it's past 12 o'clock. He ain't talked since 12 o'clock, y'all. But he sits up on the side of his bed because after that experience with that food tray, once I said, tell me what you're hearing or I'm not giving you this food, and he shut back down, I said, oh, that's not normal. I started praying. I ain't gonna lie. I started praying. And it was very weird because as I'm sitting here praying, hours go by and then he sits up on the side of his bed and he asked his nurse, he said, can I get a Bible? And I was like, now that just threw me off. Cause I'm like, why he want a Bible? I said, oh, okay, maybe he finna trust God. That's what I'm thinking, right? They bring this Bible to him. He's sitting on the side of his bed. When I tell you the devil knew I was on his coattail, I'm not lying. The devil knew I was starting to understand what was going on. And he didn't want me to know for real. I'm trying to tell y'all. So he sits up and he asks his nurse for a Bible. The nurse bring him his Bible, and he's sitting on the side of the bed. I'm still looking at him like, yeah, okay. But then I felt something in my spirit say, he ain't reading that Bible. So I look over at him, and as soon as I heard that, I looked at his eyes, and his eyes was looking like they were fixated on a certain part of the Bible where it was just like, if you was reading, your eyes would have been like right down here somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because as soon as I hear he ain't reading that Bible, he flipped the page like he was reading it. And I'm like, he's not really reading it though. Like, I can tell you not really reading it. You know what I'm saying? I can't explain it, but you know when somebody reading it. You know what I'm saying? And so either way it goes, he wasn't really reading the Bible, but he flipped the page as soon as that thought came into my mind. So anyways, then I start looking up. No. Then after that happened, it dawned on me that we've been in there for 3 days now. And when that dawned on me, I started crying for real. That was when I broke down crying. Because one thing that I knew about my ex, he's not missing work for Armageddon. I'm trying to tell God, it can be Armageddon, that man going to work. I am not joking, y'all. Jesus could crack the sky and be returning on a cloud in front of that man, and he is still on his way to work. I'm not playing, y'all. So when the 3rd day came and we was still in that hospital, I broke down for real. At that time, at that moment, I broke down crying because I said, no, something not right. He really messed up. Because I remember the 2nd day in the hospital, I was thinking to myself, like, I know he ain't doing all this faking around and playing crazy because he trying to get a reaction. I hope that's not what he doing. So when the 3rd day came though, I was like, nah, something really is wrong because you ain't went to work. You ain't even mentioned work. That's how I know something not right. For real, for real. And as soon as I broke down crying, y'all, I probably ain't never told y'all this, but my dad is a pastor. And I did not call nobody. I ain't tell nobody what I was going through or nothing. All I used to let them know was, hey, I'm gonna go to the hospital. They ain't know why I was going to the hospital or nothing. Let me tell y'all, I literally break down in tears because I'm realizing like, oh, something is really wrong. And as soon as I did that, why my dad come walking through these freaking curtains? All jokes aside, because we in the psych part of it. You know what I'm saying? I can't explain it, but we in the psych part of the hospital. And so as soon as I break down crying, my dad, out of nowhere, he comes through these curtains to this back room with us. And he was like, y'all get up, we about to pray. Ooh. Let me tell you. Now, mind y'all remember when I said after they gave him that lunch tray and he asked for that Bible, but he wasn't talking about nothing, I started praying for him. Remember when I said that? And when I would pray for him, y'all, he would be sitting up against the wall, not saying anything, but sometimes he would stop and say, Nani, stop. He would say it like that. And that was when I started to realize, like, how do he know that I'm praying when I'm not even praying out loud? You get what I'm saying? But when I would pray in my head, because it's starting to click for me. Because he didn't go to work or nothing, I started praying in my head. And when I would pray, he would say that. Nani, stop. Like that. It will be real low. Like extremely low. Like, I don't know. It was like his voice didn't work or something. I don't know. But that's what he would say. So now, boom, I break down in tears because I'm like, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do, but I know something really wrong now. My dad come walking through these curtains out of nowhere. I ain't even tell this man where I was at or what I was doing or what I was going through. But he ends up walking through these curtains. He's a pastor. And we all come in this room, and as soon as my dad walks in that room, my ex scoots to the front of his bed, to the side of his bed. And it was almost as if he tried to gather himself or something. I don't know. But he scoots to the side of his bed. And he been there in that same position for hours. But as soon as my dad walked through, he was like, no, no, like that. He literally started saying, no, 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 like that. And my dad was like, yeah, I'm here, we here, and we finna pray for you. That was literally how it went. And so we stood up in the middle of this room, and we start praying. And we start praying, y'all. And my ex started doing like this. Now, mind you, my ex is somebody that will talk to you about God till 4 a.m. in the morning. Like, my ex will defend the Lord with his last breath. You know what I'm saying? So why don't you want to pray? And why, as soon as you saw my dad, you talking about no, like that? You ain't talked in hours. I've been calling your name. I done took your food. I done tickled the man. I'm sorry, y'all. But for real, I did everything you possibly could to get this man to talk other than physically put my hands on him. But anyway, we standing in the middle of this room and we holding hands and we trying to pray. But I remember he could not stand prayer. Like, he could not do it. Like, it was like when you prayed, he would feel a torment. You know what I'm saying? Like, all jokes aside, he would feel a torment because we standing there praying or whatever, and he would do like this, like no, like he would actually talk. That was the only time he would talk. And oh my God, the plead in his voice, y'all. I'm not even joking. The plead in his voice, I have never heard before. So as we praying and he doing like this, and he's saying no, and he's saying stop. He was like this. I'm gonna try to say it how he said it. He was like, stop. He was like, please stop. Like that. Like, it would be so low. It was, I don't even know if y'all could hear. Did y'all hear me when I said that? But he would say it that low. And so he would just keep asking him to stop praying for him. That's what he kept asking, like, stop, please stop. That's what he would say. And I remember my dad ended up telling him, like, you gotta repent. And I was sitting there thinking, like, what is he repenting for? You know what I'm saying? What is he repenting for? But see, I didn't, at that time, it was too much going on for me to put the pieces to the puzzle. Like, he said that he hurt me, he hurt Nani. When I'm standing in the dining room, God say no, he's saying that he hurt you through your daughter. But I'm sitting here thinking, like, how did he hurt my daughter? My daughter is well and alive and growing in my stomach. I have not had one complication. We good. So what are y'all talking about? Why is my dad coming into this hospital telling him he needs to repent from something? This man is saved and a believer. So what are y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a little confused, as y'all can see. But anyways, they ship him from the hospital to a psych ward. And I end up going home, right? And man, when I went home, it was crazy, y'all. Because let me tell y'all. So he didn't want to take the medication from the hospital. And so I would tell the nurse, like, he don't want that. He don't want the medication. You know what I'm saying? Because the medication, it wasn't really a reason why he didn't want it, but I didn't want him to have it either, because I'm like, whatever it is he's going through, medicine is not finna help him, bro. Like, this is spiritual. This is not what y'all are thinking. And whatever it is y'all gonna give him is not gonna heal nothing. It's just gonna make him sleepy. You know what I'm saying? So what's sleep finna do? Like, this man need deliverance. And so either way it goes, after my dad left, he came up there and prayed for him. All of that happened. After my dad leave, I ended up coming across the video of this man that was basically telling us signs of demon possession. And he said, one of the signs of demon possession is when you pray for the person, they will often say no, 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 like that. And I was just like, dang, that's what he doing. He said no, 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 like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I had watched a long video. It was a couple signs that he gave, honestly. But the other sign that he gave though too was when he woke me up in the middle of the night, and it was like he was playing normal. When he tapped me at 1 a.m. and he was like, Nani, take me home, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, a man that haven't spoken in 2 days? Like, look at you. You literally up with a smile on your face. I'm like, Nani, take me home, I'm ready to go. And I'm sitting there 7 months pregnant, like, it's 1 a.m. Why do you want to go now? It's 1 a.m. in the morning and you want to go now. Why we couldn't go earlier today? Or something like that. You get what I'm saying? But God's favor, because like I said, if I had took him home, like I said, they would have hurt me. You feel me? So either way it goes, my dad come in and pray. I watched that video. They sent him to the psych ward, right? Mind y'all, in the midst of all of this, I'm 7 months pregnant and I'm still in school. I bust A's that season though. I bust A's that whole semester. I don't know how I did it. Really don't know how I did it. But either way it goes, yeah, they sent him to the psych ward, right? And my first visit to see him, I'm trying to think. My first visit to see him. Ooh, okay, so he is in psych ward. I get invited as I'm at the hospital to still see him, right? I get invited to a woman's retreat. I have never been to a women's retreat in my life. I didn't even know what that was. But this lady from my church, I call her my auntie. I love her to death. She's the best woman I ever met in my life. She ended up texting my phone in the midst of all this craziness that I was just telling y'all about. And she was like, hey, Nani, I just wanted to let you know that we're going to a women's retreat. How would you like to come with me? And yada, yada, yada. And I was like, yeah, I'll go. You know, I guess. Thinking back on it, I don't know why I said I'll go with all of this going on. It was the weirdest thing in the world. I do not know why I said I'd go, but I ended up going, right? And at this women's retreat, y'all, ooh, a bunch of just good old women praising the Lord, y'all. I end up bumping into a lady that I also been knew from my church, right? But we didn't talk much. I didn't know much about her until this women's retreat. She gets up there, and I remember God telling me, go to her. And I'm sitting here thinking like, her? Her? Like, I don't even know her like that. She cool, but I don't know her like that. Y'all, I went to her room first thing in the morning, and she started talking to me like just yapping, right? And she's talking about how she goes to different psych wards and prisons and stuff like that. And she pray for people and she do deliverance and all this stuff. I'm like, what? I'm like, no way. I didn't even know you did all of this. Like, I didn't know this lady since I was 18 years old. Didn't know she did all of this. But what I did know was when me and my ex went to church, he was talking about the way she prayed. And he just kept pointing out, like, man, he talked about her prayer for years. Like, that one lady that be praying, he used to talk about her prayer for years. So listen, let me tell y'all though, I get to her room, she started talking to me about everything that she do, and I didn't even know she did all of that stuff. He ends up calling my phone from the psych ward while I'm in her room. I answer the phone, and he couldn't talk as usual. He couldn't talk. So I'm like, hello. He like, yeah, 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 like that. Like he never made any sense. Like it was weird. But as he's on the phone, she instantly says, that's demon. That's demon possession. That's literally what she says. Cause she just hearing him talk. It was crazy. And so either way it goes, immediately she grabs my hand and she starts praying for him as we are on the phone with him. Because it took him like 15 minutes just to say one thing, y'all, all jokes aside. So we end up praying. After that prayer, all jokes aside, he was talking and speaking fluently. Like regular. And I'm just like, okay, you know, like he might be doing better. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm still at this woman's retreat. He calls me back again. It's later on that night. And he told me like to, I don't know, I think he told me to kiss Ari for him or something like that. Like he was just saying like he was going, you know, he wanted to get out of the psych ward and all of this and that he was going to be okay. He was going to be good. And I was just telling him like, yeah, you're going to be good. Like I already know you're going to be good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping about that. Like I know you're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on, but I know you'll be fine. That's what I'm thinking. And so, boom, he ended up getting out of the psych ward, right? And he ended up getting out of the psych ward and he ended up going home, right? And then he gets put back in the psych ward. But let me tell y'all, because I end up having 2 dreams before he goes back to the psych ward. And this is where it gets thicker again. So I have a dream where it's my ex and it's some brown skinned lady or whatever. And they're standing next to each other, but they have on like slavery clothes. Like you would think they was in like a 1950s movie. Like they got the overall jumper on and they face expressions is just like this. Like they face expressions have nothing behind them. And they had shackles on their feet, but their feet were chained together. Like, so whatever woman that was and him, they had like shackles on their feet. So them two, they're tied together. And again, they have on the same clothes. So I asked God, like, what is that? What is this woman? Why do they got the same clothes on? I'm not understanding. So I'm thinking like, I don't know, maybe he got a secret relationship and it ain't about to go good because they ain't look happy and their clothes was dingy and the clothes was old. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not understanding, y'all. Whew. But I have that dream, and then I have another dream where it's my ex, it's his brother, and it's their cousin, and they're all in this apartment. And me and my ex, we're sitting, I got another dream, I'm so sorry, but we're sitting in a bedroom, me and my ex. We're in a bedroom and we're standing up and we talking face to face. His brother and his cousin is outside the door, right? And I don't remember what my ex was saying, but I remember I opened up the door. And as soon as I opened up the door, his brother and his cousin is outside the door and they like oiled down and they're nude. They have no clothes on. And they like on some super, like, you know, what's the word? Like nasty stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm thinking like, okay, they some snakes, but I been do that. But then I had this other dream. Because mind y'all, he's going back to the psych ward. He went back to the psych ward, right? And so I have another dream where I'm sitting on a couch and my ex is sitting next to me. And he was like, you know, glitching and being weird and all of this, not talking and all that, right? But then he turns to me and he gives me a hug and he said, all you ever wanted was the best for me. And then I woke up. But mind y'all, he's still alive. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he turned to me, he hugged me, and he said, all you ever wanted was the best for me. He gave me a hug, and then I wake up. And so, when he calls me from the psych ward, now that he's back in the psych ward, I tell him, all right, I'm going to come and see you. Because he wanted me to come and see him. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to come see you, right? I'm on my way to the psych ward. And I hear God loud and clear. Let me tell y'all the dream I had, though. I had a dream where me and my ex is standing in the living room. And it was the same two people, his brother and his cousin. They standing in the dining room. Me and my ex is in the living room. So we can see each other in this house. And I see his brother standing slightly behind him. But he like counting his money or whatever, right? He like counting all this money in the dream. He counting all his money. And I remember he was just basically like trying to lie or trying to make it seem like it was something that it wasn't. I couldn't really put my finger on what he was doing, but I knew it had something to do with the money. And I basically was just telling my ex in the dream, like, watch him, like that, like watch him. You know what I'm saying? And so that dream let me know too, like, oh, like y'all snakes. But again, I've been through that. The whole relationship, I knew that. So anyways, now in real life, I'm on my way to visit him because he wanted me to visit him at the psych ward, right? I'm on my way there and I hear God tell me loud and clear. He said, they are going to kill him. And I was like, who? What are y'all talking about? What you talking about? Who? This is what I'm telling God. Who? Right? And so as I'm like 3 minutes away from this facility, I tell God, I said, if you're telling me that they are going to try to do something to him because of his money, because my ex had like maybe like, I don't even know, he had like bunch of money saved up. Bunch of money, like at least maybe 50,000 saved up just from working. And I remember when he first was like about to start trying to spend that money before all of this happened, I remember telling him like, don't you start spending that money because whatever. I end up telling him, whatever it is that you to save that money up for, God is about to have you use that for a reason. And the reason why I had told him that was because it was like, he would work a 24-hour shift every day. It was like he didn't need rest. You know what I'm saying? So the way he was working, I don't know, but I just seen it as a spiritual thing. And Lord behold, sure enough, he buried himself, all jokes aside, because he had the money. And so either way it goes though, I'm on my way to the psych ward and I hear God tell me that. And then I tell God, like, okay, if they finna try to do something to him about this money because they feeling like he's slow because he going through all of this. So they're like, oh, he's slow, man. He ain't got his mind, man. We finna take this money, this, that, and the third. Y'all, I told God, if my ex bring this money up while I'm in here, then I'll know that this was you that just told me this. And Lord behold, I walk into that psych ward. I'm sitting down. I'm talking to him. And, he basically, what he tells me is this, as we sitting at the table, he said, Nani, man, I got all this money and I can't even use it. That's literally what he said. I'm like, this man done brought the money up. And so what he said to me was, when you leave out of here, go to the house, bro. I'm going to tell them to give you this, that, and the third. You are already going to be straight. That's what he said. And so y'all already know how family is though. Family, like you can be the person that had loved a person wholeheartedly. That family is about to try to treat you like you ain't poured into them, like you ain't been there for their family, like you ain't, like you just, you get what I'm saying? But they all do that. Everybody do that. Every family does it. Like I didn't expect nothing different. I literally told him like, I'm not going over there and telling them people to give me nothing. First of all, your family been the way that they is, and they not about to help me out with nothing. You know what I'm saying? They've always tried to make me the enemy from day one before they even knew me. So why would they try to be a friend or a help now? They're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm literally trying to explain this to him. And he is like fighting tooth and nail, like, go to that house, get that money, period. Like, that's what he kept doing. And so I ended up going to the house because he wouldn't let it go. I mean, like, he was calling me even after I left. So anyways, though, besides that, he ended up bringing up the money. And then he also ended up saying something that caught my attention, because he said, Nani, I'm sorry for loving you to your face and hating you behind your back. And when he said that, I was just like, okay, maybe he just saying something else crazy again. Like, maybe he just, the same way he kept saying, I hurt Nani, I hurt Nani, I hurt Nani. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's how I felt about it at that moment, when he like, Nani, I love you. I'm sorry for loving you to your face, but hating you behind your back. I'm like, here we go again with this random crazy stuff. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But I ended up going home that day, and as I'm leaving out of the psych ward, this was the last time I ever heard him tell me that he loved me or anything like that. Because I'm walking out of this psych ward, he gave me a hug. He wanted to give me a kiss, but I didn't give him a kiss because it's people. I don't care if it's other crazy people or not. It's other people in here. And so he tried to give me a kiss, but I was just like, no, that's too much, because they already don't even want me and him hugging each other. You know what I'm saying? And so either way it goes, I walk out the psych ward, and as I'm walking out, he yelled across the auditorium. He was like, Nani! And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I love you. And I was like, I love you too, like that. And I yelled it back. And then I left. And then I remember I started going to work every day. And as I'm going to work, I would hear God every day tell me, they are going to kill him. And I would keep telling God. Every time I heard that, I would tell God, I'll say, God, I'd rather see that man married with children than somewhere in a grave. That was what I kept telling God every time I heard that. And so, boom, we end up stopped talking basically after that. But then he randomly called my phone again. And this was how I knew, like, oh, you did take part in the witchcraft. Because one day my dad comes home, right? My dad comes home and he randomly asked me, he was like, hey, have such and such ever did tarot cards or anything? But he's saying it as he's just running up the stairs. And I was like, no, he don't even know what tarot cards is. That's what I said. Because he don't. Mind you, I've been with this person for 5 years straight. We lived together for all 4 of the years. If he did a tarot card or anything like that, I would know. If he even knew what a tarot card was, I would know. He told me things that he never told his family. So I'm sure he wouldn't mind telling me about a tarot card reading. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know what that was. So anyways, my dad come home one day. He run up the stairs and he like, hey, Nani, such and ever did a tarot card reading? I was like, no, he don't even know what that is. That was the end of that conversation. Boom. But then I get a call from him. I get a call from my ex. And he's back in the psych ward. And he was like, hey, how do I make this stop? And I was like, you gotta repent. You gotta repent for whatever it is. I don't know, whatever it is you did, you need to go and tell God that you repent for that. You get what I'm saying? And you gotta genuinely mean it. See, when you repent from something, that means that you come out of agreement with it. Like, I don't agree with this because it's against God, period. And so, but he ended up being like, I ended up asking him because my dad asked me. So I asked him like, hey, you ever did tarot cards or anything? And as soon as I said that, he was like, man, that B came to my job, had me doing them cards. And I was like, what B? What are you talking about? What girl? He said the B word. He has never in his life called a woman out her name. All jokes aside, not even me. And I was with him for 5 years. I'm sure he had the chance. He never did it.
Mommy,
Here's water. I'm sorry, y'all. 1 second. And so he was like, man, that B had me doing them tarot cards. He was like, they look like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right? And I was just like, he is so slow. Like, why did you just call them Yu-Gi-Oh cards? That's what I'm thinking. Not trying to be funny, y'all, but that's what I was thinking. I'm like, why? He's so slow. He don't even know what he was doing. You just showing up because you got so much hatred in your heart for whatever reason for me that y'all two thinking, because what girl had you doing tarot cards? Only girl I know do tarot cards is my daughter's dad, ex-girlfriend. So what girl called your phone and had you doing tarot cards? I wonder who it is. Is it the one that I told you not to answer the phone for? Oh man, like, could it have been? That's the only other person that could have ever even brought tarot cards into our lives at all. Because me and him, we didn't live that weird, demonic, desperate life. You know what I'm saying? Our lifestyle was faith. It wasn't instant gratification and desperation and answers right now. It wasn't like that. You got to walk with God. When you're walking with God, it takes patience, discipline, self-control, and faith for a reason. Because we aren't the ones in control. You know what I'm saying? So you got to exercise those characteristics. So who else bringing tarot cards into the scenario? Who? Because I know this man from the inside out, and he don't know what that is. Period. Can't nobody tell me different. I know who called his phone, and I know who set up the little spiritual meeting and all whatever that is for them to go to do all the readings and all that. And from what I've heard, you gotta do stuff for them people to even do like readings and all of that stuff for you. You get what I'm saying? So either way it goes, yeah, he was like, yeah, they look like Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something like that. And I was just like, yeah, they look like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but they're not Yu-Gi-Oh cards, they're tarot cards. And he just got mad, and he was just like, man, that beat, excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all, yada, yada, yada. And then I was like, yeah, okay, repent, click. I'm just joking, I ain't say it like that. I'm just playing, I did not say it like that. But I was just like, you know, okay, whatever. So we had that conversation, and then I got off the phone. And then I remember I was going to school, and somebody was like, when are you due? And I was like, February 20th. And they was like, no, that baby gonna be here Valentine's Day. And I just started cracking up, because I'm like, people so typical. They be thinking they gotta tell you what they think you want to hear. Child, I don't care if this baby come on Valentine's Day or not. Okay? Stop trying to be smooth. I don't care to hear all that. I'm 9 months pregnant, and I'm trying to get up out this classroom and go home and go to sleep. That's what I'm thinking, right? But Lord behold, it had to have been prophetic, because I go into labor, right? And I'm sitting in my bed, and I'm sitting in my hospital bed. I go into labor, and I wake up at like 4 a.m. because my baby ended up going to the NICU. She didn't even have a reason to go to the NICU, but she ended up going to the NICU. So I'm waking up every 2 hours off of a C-section. If you ain't never had a C-section, and you don't understand why I'm pointing this out, but I'm going down to the NICU every 2 hours to feed and nurse my baby. So now it is 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm about to get in my wheelchair, but I open up my phone. My stomach is freshly slit open. It just got sliced open not even 12 hours ago. But I'm on the side of this bed and I open up my phone and all I see was this man. Soon as I opened up my phone, all I saw was this man. But let me not skip, because before I went into labor, literally my last day being pregnant, I remember I was walking her down and I came across a word on YouTube, and the lady said it's something about a warlock and this, that, and the third. But this man, his fate is sealed and he will be gone in 3 days. And that word hit my spirit to the point I was like, I don't know what man this lady is talking about, but she's either talking about this man or she's talking about this man. And after I said that, I told God, I said, well, we just gonna see which one of these is die. That's what I said. Now, I'm sorry, y'all. I was 9 months pregnant. It was my last day being pregnant. I was tired. I didn't care to think about nothing else. I already dealt with this man in the psych ward and demonic encounters and women blowing up my phone and cutting my tires, and I'm still in school and I'm working 2 hours out. I had already went through a lot during my pregnancy. So listen, when I got that prophetic word, I said, I don't know who about to die, but somebody about to die. We're going to see which one. So that was all I had to say. And Lord behold, I go into labor. I was in labor for 24 hours with no, excuse me. I was in labor for 24 hours. You're about to get out. I'm almost done. Do you want to get out for a second?
No.
She don't want to go.
Sleeping.
You're sleepy. Oh, my baby. And so I go into labor. I'm in labor for 24 hours with no medication. So then the second day come and I take the medication, right? And I take the medication, the epidural or whatever, on the second day. On the second day, right? And so now that I take the medication on the second day, I end up actually having her that day, but through a C-section. And so now it's the third day, which is why I'm telling y'all I'm waking up at 4 a.m. and I see this man on my timeline. And now I'm finding out who was going to pass away. And the person that passed away was my ex.
I want some water.
You want some water? And so now that he passes away, it's quite ironic because my daughter's dad, you know, he's still alive. But he tells me after I'm gone and I leave the hospital, right? I end up moving out of state as soon as I leave the hospital.
What's it make water?
This one is yours.
No.
Oh, she's so picky. I be trying to. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna tell y'all all the other stuff that God revealed after him passing away. And I'm gonna let y'all. She just be so picky. Like, this is her cup. This is my cup. I gotta pour the water out of my cup into her cup so that she can drink the water. Here, take your cup.
I want the ice. Where's the water?
You want the ice? Okay, so now I'm in the hospital, right? He passes away while I'm in the hospital on the third day. And I end up moving out of state. And as I'm out of state, I'm still having like all of these, like I started having these demonic dreams. Like, and when I say they were demonic, they weren't like fully demonic. Give me 1 second, y'all. I gotta get rid of her for me to finish this. Give me 1 second. I know, I'm gonna put you to sleep in just 1 second. I'm almost done.
What type of reptile is it? Crocodile. It's tiny.
Leave it. Okay, the ones.
Bro, it's a laser. You know they run fast? Bro, what are you? Okay, now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, anyways, I move out of state. I'm still having like all of these dreams, right? I'm not knowing what's going on because, mind you, now I have a 1-week-old baby. I got a fresh C-section in my stomach. I've never been through any of this before. I'm a first-time mother, first-time C-section, first-time spouse have passed away. You know what I'm saying? First time of a lot of things. So when I get out of state, I remember talking to my daughter's dad, and he was like, yeah, she was the first one to let me know that he had passed away. How does she know he passed away? Nobody knows you. You get what I'm saying? You're an ex. Nobody knows you. His family don't know you. My family don't know you. So how do you know anything about me and my ex? Let me know. Unless you were involved and he done already said that you done came to his job and did tarot card readings. I believe it because you sure came to my job. So I know you will go to his job. You came to my job. I can't tell y'all everything that happened in the story because child, the story will never end. But yeah. So it's like, he ain't lying. My ex wasn't lying before he passed away. You really came to the job and you really did tarot card readings. And you really stalked him the same way you stalked me. And so what were you stalking him for? What were you stalking him for? You get what I'm saying? Like you gotta ask yourself them type of questions, because then you'll never understand what really happened if you don't be like, why was she keeping up with him so tough? You know what I'm saying? And then when my daughter's dad came to the hospital, it was early in the morning. So how did she let my daughter's dad know that my ex-fiance had passed away that early in the morning when nobody knows you? Nobody know you. So how did she find out that quickly? Exactly. My point. And so either way it goes, yeah. So I end up moving out of state after he came to the hospital. We went to go see him one more time at his mom's house. And then we moved out of state right after that. So my baby was maybe like a week old. I moved out of state, right? I'm having all these other dreams. I couldn't even do YouTube. She used to be all under the video. Like, dang. I can't even make a video in a whole nother state without her in the comments talking about her. Like, girl, please. Like, like, she was already blowing up my phone for 9 months. It's like, I know you ain't have a job or a dollar. And now the baby here, you still ain't got a job or a dollar. Why is you under my videos? I was like, dang, I can't, like, y'all, it was literally to the point I was just like, first of all, God, why you moved me all the way out here? And then I moved out there so fast, I couldn't even wrap my head around what all had happened. I'm like, dang, I'm all the way in another state when God knows I was waiting for my pregnancy to be over. God knew I was waiting for my pregnancy to be over. Point blank, period. That's all I can say. So him moving me out of state that fast, I didn't ask to move out of state. I didn't ask for that. That junk fell in my lap and it was forced upon me. And I didn't understand why. So let me just give y'all this testimony right quick before I finish this story. Because as I'm in the hospital having my baby, I forgot to tell y'all, my ex done passed away. My baby is here. I'm having a C-section. I'm waking up every 2 hours, going all the way to the other cross of the building to feed my baby. And at the same time, I get a text message from my family talking about, and when she leave that hospital, you can take her with you. That's what they said about me. I didn't even know what was going on. I hadn't argued with nobody in that household or nothing. You get what I'm saying? But I'm not finna be nowhere that I'm not wanted. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just go with you because they standing in my face talking about, I want you to come with me. I want you to come with me. And I'm sitting here like, I ain't going. But as soon as I get that text message, I said, I'm going. Let me tell y'all though, because they did actually end up calling and apologizing because they was like, dang, like we was dead wrong, like I didn't even notice. You get what I'm saying? And I accepted the apology because at the end of the day, God evidently was working something for my good because like I said, God knew. Oh, this pregnancy over? Y'all remember when I told y'all that truck came to a slow roll? All right, I'm just joking. God handled it. God handled it. But either way it goes, yeah, I ended up going out of state. Didn't even realize what was going on. So, as I'm out of state though, I remember I had this dream where it was all these like zombies walking in this room, right? And I knew that it was a demonic presence on them. Now I'm out of state with my newborn baby and you know, everything just is how it is right now. But I have this dream and it's all these zombies and I feel the demonic presence. And so I was telling them like, I rebuke you, I rebuke you. I was actually really calm about it, like rebuke, rebuke, like that. And they would turn around and leave. But one of the zombies did like this. Let me show y'all. One of the zombies was like, as they walking away too, because I rebuked them, right? They walking away like this. Like that. And then they get into the elevator and the zombie was still scratching his head. But then he looked up at me and then he looked back down and it was like that. And then after that, the dream switches. And I'm sitting in my ex's car. Now, mind you, he's passed away because he passed while I was in the hospital, right? He passes away. And either way it goes, I'm sitting inside of his car, inside of the dream. And this lady pops up on his radio. But it's like a real lady like me, right? But she don't look like me, but I'm just saying she look human. She looked real, like somebody I would bump into at a store. You know what I'm saying? She pops up in front of me and she was like, who keep giving you the power to speak? And I was like, click, shut the radio off. Because who you talking to like that, first of all? And I ain't got to tell you nothing but Jesus. And I woke up. And so that dream really caught my attention though, because I'm like, who was that lady? And she had like this wrap around her head. And so that dream ended up getting my attention because I'm like, she looked way too real. Kind of like the lady in that first dream that I told y'all about when my ex was still alive and I saw my ex chained to a woman that was like a brown skinned woman. They both had on slavery clothes. You know what I'm saying? She looked real, you know? So I'm like, okay. And so either way it goes, yeah, she looked very real, right? And so that was kind of how I knew, like, oh, this girl is still doing witchcraft. Like, she's still doing witchcraft. Because who was this woman that just popped up in front of me that's trying to get in my business? And why does she want my business? She want my business for you. But she can't get in my business because I'm really covered by the blood. You know what I'm saying? Do it make sense? So either way it goes though, y'all, yeah. So what I believe God revealed to me was that this woman was doing witchcraft on me and my ex-fiance. My ex passed away from it, but he also indulged in it, which is, oh, now let me tell y'all too how I know. It had to be some type of demonic possession because, okay, good, just do it, please, Fat Fox, please, just do it. You don't have to tell us. We didn't even know you were here. Like, why'd you have to? We didn't know you was here. But either way it goes, I also remember my ex brother. He ended up calling me when I moved out of state. He didn't know I was out of state because I was out of state literally right after I left the hospital. So they didn't even know. Nobody knew that I was out of state. But he ended up calling me and he was like, hey, like, you know, this, that, and the third. And he just telling me stuff, you know, that was going on. This is his brother, the same one that I was seeing in all them dreams I told y'all about. And so, as he's on the phone though, he ends up telling me, he said, yeah, man, your ex, like my ex changed the night y'all came from the movies. Do y'all remember me saying that at the movies, we both felt that super demonic encounter where we both woke up and was looking at the same place, at the same spot? Y'all remember when I told y'all that? Exactly. So for his family member, somebody that I have not expressed anything to, I haven't expressed to this family member nothing about the movie, nothing about the encounter we had at the movie. Even to this day, I've never expressed that to them. They don't know anything about my daughter's dad or none of them. They don't know nothing about none of that. But for him to call me when I move out of state and be like, yeah, he changed after y'all left the movies, I'm like, dang, that's crazy. So I'm not tripping. Like, what we felt at the movies was real, because how did he change right after the movies? And even his family calling me after I move out of state and he passed away and gone, but they called me out of nowhere talking about, yeah, he changed the day y'all came back from the movie theater. I'm not tripping then, right? So anyways, that was a call I received when I moved out of state. Then I had that dream as well with the lady with the wrap around her head when I moved out of state. And let me think. I had a lot of dreams about him when I moved out of state, but I'm not going to necessarily tell them dreams. But either way it goes, to sum it up, what I believe happened was, let me read your comment. What I believe happened was that she did witchcraft on him, and she tried to do witchcraft on me and my daughter. But the day that I found out I was pregnant, which was once I left my sister's house that night, I prayed to God. And I literally told God, I said, God, this child is yours. Let the Holy Spirit come into her right now. Let him live and dwell within her. I didn't know if it was a girl or a boy, but because like I said, I had just found out that day. But I was telling God, like, use this child in every way that you want to use this child. You are giving me this child to assist you, but I know that this person belongs to you at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? So basically, I was literally just, I asked him to cover her in the blood, him, her, whatever. I was like, cover this child in the blood, this, that, and the third. And so, yeah, I basically had, what is it called when they give the baby to God? When they, what is that thing called that people take their kids to go do? I basically had accidentally did that. In other words, I had accidentally did that during my pregnancy. So even though she had did witchcraft on me and my daughter and my ex, it only really fell on my ex. Because me, I truly, like, I believe in the blood of God. A lot of people might say, oh, they believe in Christ and this, that, and the third. Yeah, but what's your submission for real? Like, what is your true submission? Because yeah, I ended up pregnant, but I ended up pregnant before I could get away from the situation because I wanted to be out of sin. See, that's what people not understanding. I didn't leave my daughter's dad because I just was like, oh, I'm against this person. No, I was against sin. And that was why I left. So my heart posture was already set for righteousness. So when it came down to my ex, he believed in God, but I don't know how much he cared for righteousness. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But what I do know is where my heart was and where my heart was once I found out I was pregnant. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm pregnant, but God, now cover us both in the blood. And that's just that. And so now, either way it goes, I get this call from his family member while I'm out of state. He told me that he changed when we came back from the movie theater. I had that dream and this, that, and the third, right? But also, it was one more thing that happened. I cannot remember it right now. But either way it goes, yeah, that was how I knew though. That was how I knew that the witchcraft was done on my ex. And yeah, it ended up not falling on me and my daughter. And we made it out. And so the dream too that I had when my ex and my daughter, because remember when God had told me like, that's your daughter, when I asked God, like, who is this little girl that just got in the truck with my ex? Like, do he got a kid that I don't know about? What you talking about? And when I went and prayed and God was like, no, that's your daughter. Right. So what God had showed me with that, I believe he was showing me like, listen, your daughter and this man got on the same clothes because that's supposed to be like, I guess, some type of spiritual intertwine thing. Because like I told y'all in the second dream, when I saw my ex and that brown skinned woman, they had on the same clothes. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I started asking God, like, what does it mean? Why do people keep having on the same clothes? And so what God showed me was my daughter was supposed to, her life was not supposed to make it either. And they were both supposed to pass away together. And when I said that them two had on the same clothes in that dream, my ex and my daughter, they both had on black. So maybe that meant something. Wow, you said a similar thing happened to you and your ex. And so this is the thing too. Now that you just said that, I remembered what I was going to tell y'all. When I had moved out of state too, I ended up coming across this man, and he was like, because I had prayed to God and I asked him like, God, am I tripping? Like, are you really telling me that somebody like took the life of my ex through witchcraft and tried to take the life of my daughter too and mine? But we made it though. And so either way it goes, nothing against my ex, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we made it. But either way it goes, thing is this. It was this man that ended up saying that he ended up in a psych ward. He was telling his testimony because I had prayed to God and I said, am I tripping? Right? Ended up coming across this testimony. When I tell you, first thing, I woke up and opened up my phone and his testimony was right there. Like, I didn't have to look for it or nothing. It was right there. And this man was like, yeah, I ended up cheating with this girl that was a witch. And I ended up in the psych ward. And my son ended up sick. When they showed the pictures of that little boy had tubes all down his throat. He looked so discombobulated. Like, he didn't even look like, oh my God, somebody had did that to my baby and I knew who did. It would really take God to have stopped it.
Make sure that she doesn't say duty for
She said it again. My bad, y'all. Okay, so either way it go, my phone had died. But yeah, so when I saw the pictures of that little boy though, and he was saying that the girl had did some type of, yeah, like some love spells and stuff like that on him. Go away.
Oh, you want game stuff?
No, I'm not.
Business.
But yeah, he had told us that she did some type of love spell on him, and it literally, she was trying to take the life of him and his child, and it was working. But I guess his other girlfriend or whatever ended up, like, you know, being a believer, and she was like praying for him, praying for her son, because that was also her son. You know what I'm saying? And so they ended up making it through. But once they, you know, pulled through and stuff like that, he ended up basically just coming to the realization, like, I slept with a witch and I tried to leave her alone, and she did spells and tarot cards and stuff on me. And I was like, that's crazy. That is crazy. Because I literally went through that same thing. I just didn't, you know, actually get, I just didn't actually get affected by it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it literally did not touch me. And that is why I be so thankful to God in this season of my life, because I've just realized, like, things that he could have let affect my life, he didn't let touch my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't let it touch my life, he ain't let it touch my daughter's life, and I see that it has actually gotten to touch the lives of other people and their children. You know what I'm saying? So now I understand the power of the blood. You know what I'm saying? I understand there's power in the blood, baby. Even with that lady coming in and being like, who's giving you the power to speak? Like, oh, you wanna shut down the source, but it's like, you can't shut down the source. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't work like that. So yeah. Yeah, that circumstance had brought give me a lot of realization. Like, okay, so this whole faith in Jesus and being covered actually does have some perks to it. You know what I'm saying? They got some perks to this stuff, because when there's stuff going on that you don't know about, you might end up lost in the sauce and don't be realizing, like, oh, so, ooh, I'm sorry. You might not be realizing, like, oh, this is a battle that gotta be won in the spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't a battle that you win just by physically fighting and all that. Oh, my face products that I use? Yes, I'll put them in a link. I sure will. I use Urban Skin Rex. But yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all the Urban Skin Rex and everything, and I'm gonna link it at the end of the video. But did anybody get anything from this testimony? Let me know in the comments. I'm here to answer questions if y'all want me to. What did y'all get from this? It says she cheated, but when she came back, her spirit was different. It's like she never knew me. We was together 6 years and lived together. I seen the demonic spirit, all black, in my house. Whoa. So she cheated, and then when she came back, her spirit was different. What in the world? So, like, what happened, though? You said there was a great testimony from a lady in Florida. Her husband was a prolific cheater. Oh, wow. And after he died in a car crash, she discovered he only wanted her for a green card. Oh. Things was moving in my house in the middle of the night. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that can happen too. And let me tell y'all, I guess I gotta tell y'all this. Hey, can you pull me a chair from over there, please? You said, and her mother-in-law was doing witchcraft. Oh yeah, for sure. It's a lot of women that do witchcraft because honestly, okay. Man, I hate to say it so bluntly, but it's a lot of women that do witchcraft because they aren't in the season to be a wife yet. And the reason why I say yet is because it takes God to like actually create a woman into a wife. It's not that she got to be perfect or nothing like that. She ain't got to be perfect, no. But basically, it's kind of like what God say: a woman that does not fear the Lord or honor the Lord is not a wife. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of women, like I said, my grandmother used to do this too. A lot of women who don't follow God, they just move out of their own desperation. They move out of their own will and they try to be in control. So if they have a mindset of being in control, you're never going to be free. Not when you talking to them. You know what I'm saying? Not when you dating somebody with that mindset, because they have to control you. They have to control you. Like the narrative must fit their idea. Point blank period. Talking about witchcraft is a sign of mental health issues. Oh, for sure. People doing witchcraft, oh yeah, you got mental health issues. For sure. But yeah, so yeah, when you operating from that space though, they fall into that. They fall into that. Because they don't know how to have discipline and patience and faith to wait on God. So they like, hey, whatever this is right here, I'm about to take it and I'm finna make it be whatever it is I feel like I need to be in order to feel complete or worthy or whatever it is they looking for, attention, I don't know, but regardless, they're finna force that thing. They finna force that thing. But yes, you said it's just best to keep God first and continue walking in his path. Yes, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, and so what I learned from all of it was that you can trust God in a dark time. That's what I really learned. Because when all of that happened, it just didn't, it just wasn't as dark as I know it could have been. Like, I knew it could have been very depressing and like I should have felt hopeless, but for some reason I didn't feel like that. I just felt like things were completely out of my control. And so because I felt like everything was so out of my control, like I can't raise the man from the dead, you know what I'm saying? So because I felt like it was out of my control, I'm like, God, I'm at a dead end now. It's like all I got is worship, and I'ma just worship you until the light is shining again. And that's what I did. And oddly, that was the way to go, because usually when things didn't go as I would expect, I used to just walk away from God like he was a liar. That's what I would take it as. Like, oh, okay, so you lied. You're not really trustworthy. You're not really somebody I could call on. Like you don't got the power that you say you got, because if you did, it wouldn't have went like this and yada 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 yada. Like that was how I used to respond. But for some reason, once I really hit that dead end, like, oh, I can't do nothing. Like I'm in a whole nother state. You get what I'm saying? I'm in a whole nother state. I can't even get no revenge if I wanted to. This person is gone. I can't bring them back. My daughter is right here, and I know that I want her to have a happy mother. I don't want to be a sad or a mad or a depressed mom. So my only choice is kind of like to keep believing and see what that does for me, because I walked away from you and it didn't benefit me. So this time I stayed and I just walked and I just worshiped and I just waited till the light shined again, and it did. So it really taught me that God was trustworthy, and that it's better to wait on God than to just set my own expectations and have my own idea of how everything should be. Because, mind you, I thought that that man was going to be my husband, y'all. So we were engaged. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought he was going to be my husband. So for all of that to occur, trust me, I had to really come to an understanding to just allow God to do what he wants to do. Like, whatever it is he wants me to face or go through in life is okay. Like, he'll see me through. He's going to see me through it. I'm okay. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just learned to be okay. But either way it goes, it's just I rarely watch lives, but glad I rolled with you. Oh, thank you. I'm back. I'm backed against the wall for different reasons. I understand. He loves me and deserves 100% trust and praise and worship. Yes, I'm telling you. When I tell you the best thing you can do is worship God when things get dark, that is the best thing you can do. All jokes aside. I remember, y'all remember in the book of David when God took the life of his son and all of that, and he gave his wife to like different men and all that because he was coming against David for taking the life of that one guy. Y'all remember in that book? And after all that happened to David, David was like, I've sinned against the Lord. Let me go and worship. I'm telling you, because people know when you worship God in a dark season, it's like God sees your heart. Like, oh, okay, this really one of mine. Like, it's like honoring your parent. Because just because your parent whoop you or allow something to happen in your life and it's that third, it don't mean that they aren't still the best leader you could actually have. You know what I'm saying? Like, God is the best leader and guider, provider, protector that you're going to get. Believe it or not, like throughout your whole life, that's the best one you're going to get. So it's like to stay in submission to him when it gets dark, that shows what type of child of God you are. And so that's why I tell people to do that like all the time, because it really worked for me. And I did not know it was going to work, but it did. So I learned, like, be an obedient child. Just be obedient. But yes, and you're right. Gotta leave the wrath to God. Literally. And that was another thing I had to learn because, like I said, even with the family members, like once all of that happened, instantly I got all these negative messages like, you're not allowed to come to the funeral, yada yada yada. And no, they don't talk like that for real, but that's what they were saying. And little did they know, like, I was never coming. I was out of state before the funeral probably even was freaking scheduled. I was already out of state. Like, God had a whole nother thing he was doing. But regardless, no matter all the attacks that I got, like, y'all should have saw, man, I could tell y'all what that family even went through when God told me that these things were going to happen. And I didn't want nothing to happen to his family because I felt like losing him was already a lot. You get what I'm saying? But the things that end up coming after it, I'm like, sheesh. Like, God do not be playing. He do not be playing. But that's because people will attack somebody. And that's why I've been learning and I've been praying. I've been praying to God. Y'all can add this to your prayers. Teach me how to war in love. Because I already know how to war in wrath. I do. I already know how to war in wrath. Teach me how to war in love. Because love is the only thing that actually changes people's hearts or have a chance to actually change people's hearts. That's why God say like a gentle approach or something like that. He said like a gentle approach can turn down like something, basically like hostility or something like that. I can't remember how it was worded, but that's basically what he was saying. And so yeah. So what do y'all think? He's talking about, hey, pretty black woman. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jakira. That's my, you know what? I ain't even gonna put all my business out there, but thank you, girlie. She said y'all have to repent and pray. Prayer works, definitely. I'm telling y'all. Um, Talking about, can you hit a few notes for us, y'all? We are not singing, like we are talking about something serious right now. Y'all on here playing. I know. Y'all irritated. But, but nah, I can't sing right now. My voice is literally tired just from telling this story. How long I've been on here? 149 minutes. I told y'all this story was long. This story is long. You just joined? Oh, you finna have to play the video back. You done missed the whole thing. You done missed the whole thing. But um yeah, so like what do y'all get from it though? What do y'all take from it? You said the story scared you. Okay, and that's what I didn't want it to do. So like I could show y'all pictures, but I'm not gonna show y'all pictures of him. But if I showed y'all pictures of him, y'all would be like, he literally looks unreal. Like he looked unreal. But either way it goes, I didn't want it to scare y'all. What I want y'all to know is I was in a backslidden state for like 5 years. You get what I'm saying? And God warned me like a lot of times. Hence why I had that dream when my ex had went to the refrigerator and then I woke back up, right? God will warn you. He will tell you, like, child, you can have the biggest calling in the world. If you're not choosing God, he just won't use you. He gonna use somebody else. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, like, you don't have to be scared. Just be obedient. Like, never, it's never too late to repent and choose God. Like, even with my ex, let me tell y'all, he went to heaven. He went to heaven. And that's why I be so like, okay, whatever, he won. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, too, I'm not really heartbroken like that about it. Now, the people that don't understand, they heartbroken about it. But let me tell y'all, I guess I'm going to tell y'all the dreams about him going to heaven and stuff like that, too, so that y'all can understand. Because I want y'all to know that you can mess up with God, even the way my ex did. You can mess up with God, and your fate can be sealed, and all this, that, and the third. But it doesn't mean that God is going to send you to hell. You know what I'm saying? And so, when it come down to him, I remember I had this dream where it was him and it was my granddad. My granddad, he passed away too. But my granddad was like in this solid black Nike Tech suit for whatever reason. And I remember he was asking me to help him. But then it was like he fell into darkness. Like everything around him was black. And all I could see was my granddad's eyes. He's like, "Go blame your nose." No, I am doing something right now. And so, and so, my granddad fell into like darkness, and his eyes were like so stern. I can't even do it in real life. But I saw his hand like reaching up out of the darkness, and all I heard him saying was, "It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. It's far too late. It's far too late." Like that. I have not had dreams about my granddad. My granddad passed away back in like 2007. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had any dreams about my granddad, but that was him in the dream. But then I also saw my ex standing at the corner of the street. After I saw my granddad doing all of that, I saw my ex standing at the corner of the street. And when I looked at him, he was just standing there and he did like this. He was like that when he looked at me. And it was like he had been passed away for like 7 days in the dream. And then it was a really bright white light behind him. And he was like, "Now, if my family don't understand what God's trying to do, I don't know what to tell them." And then he walked off into the light. Like, it be them type of dreams why I knew, like, oh, my ex went to heaven. Like, you get what I'm saying? Let me think. Was it another dream I had about him? To where I knew he went to heaven. I can't remember. I had a lot of dreams about him for real. But that was one of the dreams where I just really knew, like, okay, but he made it in. My granddad probably did, but he did. Yeah, for sure. And I believe that he did too, like, because in that dream where he sat me down on the couch and he was like, like I said, he was like glitching and like, being, different and all that. But then it was like he came into sanity and he gave me a hug and he was just like, "You was the only one that wanted what was best for me." And then I woke up. But when he said that, it felt so peaceful. Like when he said that part. So yeah, I think he did. Yep. Yeah, for sure. Deathbed confessions still work for sure. All jokes aside. And so yeah, he ended up making it though. Um, I had a lot of dreams about him. I wish I could remember them, but I had a lot of dreams about him.
Mommy,
Yes.
it's tired.
You tired? Okay. But yeah, so tell me what y'all got from that. I guess y'all can tell me in the comments, and I will answer them like first thing in the morning. If you got anything that you want to put in the comments, it's a testimony, a confession, clarity, help discerning anything that you've been through, or just questions from the testimony in general. I don't mind answering them. I'll answer them first thing in the morning. My baby is sleepy, and I'm about to try to get her laid down because I know she's ready to go to bed. So, love y'all. Stay safe. I pray for the whole chat, God. You already know. Cover everybody on this chat tonight. Anybody that tuned in, cover them all in the blood of Jesus. Help them repent. Help them seek you and trust you. You are all powerful. You are worthy to be served and praised even on our worst days. You protect us, you provide for us, and help them count the small blessings so that they can see you in their everyday life. Let them not be afraid. People are going to want to know who's giving them the power to speak. And it's going to be you. And it's going to be nothing that the enemy can do about it. So let us serve you to our last day. Let us worship and praise your name. And let us know in our hearts that the enemy does not have power. He has to ask you for permission. And our lives belong to you. And you love us enough to keep us and protect us from all darkness and principalities. Point blank, period. In Jesus Christ's holy name, we praise you and we love you forever, God. Amen. And so, yeah. He's talking about I just got here, now you leaving. Listen. You're gonna have to, I don't know, you're gonna have to play the video back, man. You are welcome. Y'all be careful. Don't just be sleeping with anybody. People are crazy. Have precautions for real when it comes to people, and trust your discernment. I don't care. I don't care what you think you know. If you feel an oddness in your spirit, the Holy Spirit bears witness to all things. So when he is telling you, like, like, or you just have a slight bit of questioning, just be safer than sorry. For real, be safer than sorry. You ain't missing nothing when it come to these people. I'm telling you, you're not missing nothing. You get what I'm saying? I know it be seeming so hard to let people go. It be feeling like the end of the world when you go through breakups. I know that. I've been through it all. Haven't y'all heard this story? That's just a portion of what I've been through. I done been through it all. So trust me when I say you can make it with God and God alone. You can make it. And God will send you a community. He will send you a community. Even if you don't have one, you can be walking out of a circumstance, and you can be feeling like you about to go through a thing all by yourself, and he will send you an army. Point blank. I'm trying to tell y'all. So yeah, I love y'all. I hope it helped. And like I said, anything that y'all want to tell me, y'all can put it in the comments, and I'm gonna answer everything first thing in the morning. Love y'all. Share the video out to somebody who might need it. Long as she did not understand the blood of Jesus. Oh, see? Trying to tell you. Trying to tell you. Amen to that, though. I'm happy your mom lived. Them people don't deserve her calling and her purpose. Like, what do you mean? These days belong to her. God wanted her to do a thing. Oh, she didn't? That's crazy. All right, y'all. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Yes?